Hello there, it's Mario here. Hope you guys are doing well. Today in this video, I have a very special topic that I want to talk to you about. Recently, went out to dinner, bunch of people, everybody's awesome, having fun, talking about travel, entrepreneurship, fitness, nutrition, everything. And one person said something very interesting that I just thought about and grabbed my attention was, it's such a good thing to, hang out with people that are like-minded. And you guys are ordering healthy, and I just also do it, and I really love to do that. And I have a really hard time. So he was having a really hard time doing the same thing when he's out with friends who mostly order junk food. So friends who don't really care about fitness, nutrition. They're not really interested in living a healthy lifestyle. They're just out doing their own thing. And this person obviously had a fitness goal, and they wanted to achieve it. And he was in pretty good shape already. And it was putting a lot of pressure on him. So he says something really weird. I kind of got between the lines that he was a little bit ashamed, or he didn't have the confidence to step up and order really what he wanted when he's in that situation, because he felt the pressure from all the people around him. And that's a common situation. I remembered those situations when I first started out. And I think most people, when you want to achieve a goal, you will deal with something like this. And it's not just applicable to fitness goals. This is what happens if you try to achieve any goal where you're going against the norm and you're surrounded with people who, most of them are never going to achieve that, or they don't even try to achieve that. So there's a few things that I want to share with you guys about this situation. There's really three things that come to mind, and I gave this some thought. The first thing is really that most people aren't out there to get you. Most people aren't out there to sabotage you. Most people don't really care, right? So if you feel like, my friends are putting me down, they're just, out to sabotage me and my journey to my goal, that's probably not happening, right? So there's a really low chance that's happening to you. And yes, it can happen. You have some naysayers and you have a hater here or there, but for the most part, people don't care. Now, what people do care about is their own life. They care about their own emotions and how they feel in the moment. And sometimes when you behave in sort of like this moral high ground situation where you're ordering something healthy and you're pointing out, how that's cool and what you're doing, is some people feel threatened by that. That they're afraid that they're losing their personal freedom if you become that guy, right? So that's kind of one of those things that comes to my mind when I think back when I started my journey. And when I started making better choices for myself, people around me just saw me as who I was before. So they didn't realize the shift that was happening in my mind, that where I wanted to become a healthier person. So for them, when I made those choices right in front of them, they couldn't understand, okay, why is he doing that? And some of them were thinking probably is that if he goes down that route, if he becomes that guy, then it's going to become possible for me also, and it's also some threat to their identity that you can actually do something and you're putting pressure on them. So it's more like a fear that they have of their own freedom. Is my freedom going to be limited? Especially if you're talking about family members or people that are really, really close to you. Let's say you live with a bunch of people and you start doing these things, and 2 people out of 5 start doing it. Now, the other 3 will really fight back hard, and which I had a situation back when I was in college. 3 people will fight really hard not to, make this shift. Which is really interesting because most people want to preserve what they have right now. And that is a tough situation. So I just want to point this out, that the first thing is important to understand is have some empathy for the people, but also understand that they don't care. And most people don't really care, and they don't give a damn. So you need to do your own thing. So that's the first one I want to point out there, is that you got to understand that nobody's out there to get you, and you don't need to cut people out of your life just because they don't necessarily agree with something that you're doing, right? It doesn't need to be that you agree 100% with everything that is out there with someone to be able to hang out with them, right? That's just not going to happen, right? You will have some disagreements with people, and that's absolutely normal, and it should be like that. That's what makes the whole thing interesting. If we all agreed on everything, then it would be a really boring life and a boring world to live in. So that's the first thing. Second thing I want to point out, when you want to achieve something great in your life, you want to push yourself to achieve a great result in an area, let's say fitness, you want to get to 10% body fat, you want to live a healthy lifestyle, you want to look absolutely fantastic, and you're looking at around you, like what's going on, you're a minority. You're not the common, person. You're not the common occurrence. Not everybody wants this, and you're gonna be you're gonna have to get used to becoming that 1%. And it takes some time to do that, because your actions to get to that 10% body fat, to get to that lifestyle that you want to get to that physique, are gonna be actions that are not approved by normal people, because they're not done by normal people. Like, you have to make choices like going to the gym instead of going to the movies, sticking to your diet when everybody else is overeating on junk food. There's going to be situations like that, and your decisions will not always be in line with what people expect. And that's something you have to learn how to deal with. And any journey, no matter what you want to achieve, if it's something that is outside of normal, so just the regular lifestyle, and if you look at normal, you can define that, having a 9 to 5, eating whatever, not really being conscious too much, just kind of going with the flow, the flow of life. You just live like that, not pay too much attention. And if you are paying attention, if you're conscious and if you're deliberate, you're not normal. And that's a situation a lot of people on this path, they find themselves and they don't know how to deal with it. And that's something you need to learn how to deal with, because your actions will not be normal, and that is okay, right? That is okay, because you have to take that path that only 1% of people take, or even less, probably, like looking at the stats. Like, who has? If you go to a beach somewhere, if you go to places that I've been all around the world, I've been to 50 plus countries, seeing someone in really good shape is unique. It's not that common, right? No matter where you go. I hope that makes sense, that you understand that maybe your Instagram is filled with people who are shredded and they look great, but that's not the real world. The real world is different. So what you're doing is not ordinary, and that is how it's supposed to be, because what you're looking for is extraordinary results. To get extraordinary results, you have to take actions that are not ordinary actions. Simple as that, right? The third thing that I want to mention, this is the final point of this video, is that as you grow and when you first start out, and I'm going to put this very simply, so when you're starting out on a fitness journey, when you're starting a body transformation, you're starting to make healthier choices, what's happening is that your appearance, the way you look from the outside, doesn't yet reflect the actions you're taking. What do I mean by this? Well, when you let's say you go out with your friend Joe and you go to a place and you order something, and your friend Joe orders something that is less healthy, he still sees you as someone who is overweight, right? He still sees the overweight version of you. He doesn't know what's happening in here. He doesn't know that in your mind, you've already started taking actions of someone who's 10% body fat. He doesn't know that, right? And a lot of this kind of conflict that's happening is just a lack of communication, because we don't share our goals with people. We don't tell anybody what we want to achieve. We don't own it. Right? You don't own the transformation. You don't own and you don't express enthusiasm about your goal, so people don't understand you, and they can't understand you if you don't actually deliberately mention and say, look, this is what's happening. People should know what's going on, and those who care will stick around. Those that don't care will slowly fade away, and you will easily filter and polarize everybody around you, and that's how it's supposed to be. Who doesn't support you, who's against you, will just go away. They will not really play a role in your life, and that's normal. You lose some, but you gain a lot. You gain people that, when you're very, very polarizing with something that you're doing, and when you really want something, people that really support you, they're gonna be even better friends, right? They're gonna be even better to you, and you're gonna be better to them. You're gonna have a stronger connection. And that's what's happening. You have a more deeper relationship with some people because of this extra thing that you're doing, because you're adding layers to your life. You're becoming a better person. And some people will like that, and they're going to connect even on a deeper level with you. Others will not like that, and they're just going to vanish. And that's how it is. Over time, it doesn't just happen overnight. They just disappear. But over time, it's just gonna slowly fade away, and that relationship is gonna get weaker and weaker and weaker because you have less points to talk about, you have different interests, and that's normal, and that's what occurs, right? So let that process happen, but understand that you wanna be able to express the reasons why you're doing it, own the choice that you've made, and just live by that. That's your choice, right? You have a choice, you have freedom, you can live the way you wanna live, and own the situation. And by just doing that, instantly you're going to polarize people, and you're going to be in a much better position. Those that understand will understand better, and those who care will care, and that's going to be awesome for you, right? So don't be afraid to express yourself. And I think a lot of this issue that, I don't know how to deal with all these people and to cut friends out and all this is because a lot of lack of communication. And it's most likely lack of confidence, at least it was in my case, that I just didn't know. Number one, on the outside, I didn't know how to express myself in a very confident way and say that I want to achieve something and I want to get it, right? That was a problem because I never used to talk like that before. And my first 20 something years of my life, I would never tell someone, hey, I'm going to get this. I've never used to talk about it. It was weird. And that was a problem. And then the second problem that I had was more internal, which is me not even believing that I can get it myself. So I never wanted to mention the goal. I didn't have that self-confidence and that belief that I can actually get there. So I didn't want to, say that I will and then I'm going to fail, and it's better not to say anything. And that created a lot of issues for me, and just that lack of communication. So I'm telling you right now, if there's one thing that you can do to immediately improve your situation, if you're dealing with people that don't understand and you feel like nobody really gets you, is just talk more, communicate more, be more open with your goal, and some will accept, some will not, as I said, and you will be much better off. Don't make the same mistake I did. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments if you dealt with this. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new, if you're just watching this, if you're not a part of this community. I'd love to have you here. Hit the like button as well, thumbs up if you've been a regular listener and viewer. Definitely hit the thumbs up, helps a lot. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch you guys in the next one. Have a good day, and see you soon. Peace.